wax to see each candle as special, providing the light by which to do their hair's work. She turned her thoughts back to the situation at hand and looked appealingly at her dad. "There is much that you could help me with here in the shop, Father, especially during this busy winter season." She made her voice sound wistful, and the dear wrinkled face before her suddenly brightened.
"So, you're needing help in the shop?" he asked.
"Yeah, but She turned when the small bell over the shop door rang out with cheer. Naomi glanced up and then suppressed a groan. Amelia Troyer, one of the most committed gossips on Ice Mountain, and always too glad to point out that I'm not yet married. "Frau Troyer, how are you?" Naomi kept her voice cordial, noticing that her dad had slipped discreetly through the burgundy curtain that led to their living space. Smart man. Naomi longed for her own escape when Amelia began to tout the beauty of her daughter Iris. "I know she certainly is lovely," Naomi agreed. "On the outside. On the inside, Iris is as mean as a pit of rattlers, probably as mean as her mother." "That's a dozen of the white candles." Frau Troyer's words recalled Naomi back sharply to the moment. "Of course," Naomi murmured suitably, and prayed that God would forgive her ill thoughts of the Troyer women.
"So, will you do it, Boover?"
Gray raised a brow as he considered Bud Gish's offer. The old man, carrying a lit lantern and looking like he had the world by the tail, had cornered him 10 minutes ago at Ben Kaufman's general store and practically dragged him into a stray canned goods closet. Gray had thought the man narrish, but he had to admit Bud did present an intriguing, if risky, proposition. "You want me to work in the candle shop and use that as a cover for delivering moonshine," Gray clarified.
"Right,"
Bud grinned.
"Just remember, you have to keep my doctor in the dark, if you take my meaning."
"That might be a problem, then. I've heard it said that she's smart, and a man has a tough time hiding anything from a smart woman." Gray watched Bud's chest puff out with pride.
"Yeah, she is smart."
"Then how am I going to pull this off without her knowing?" Bud leaned close, and Gray smelled a confusing combination of liniment and bologna.
"I've heard it said, Gray, that you have a way with the women."
Gray had to swallow a laugh at Bud's confidence. True, he had a way with women, a reputation he wasn't exactly proud of, but this was staid, frosty Naomi Gish. His instincts told him he'd probably get tossed out on his ear the moment he stepped through the candle shop door. He'd observed her on occasion at church service and other gatherings. Her dark brown eyes and plain brown hair did little to add charm to her serious mouth and straight back. But there were some upsides to the idea. The job of run and shine definitely appealed. He was intrigued by the dangers associated with the practice, and he'd also learned the art of candle making, which he privately appreciated. Not that he'd ever tell Naomi or Bud or anyone else. Ultimately, it was the challenge of pulling a bit of wool over Naomi's brown eyes that had tipped his decision. "I'll take the job," he said, grinning. Bud slapped Gray on the back, the lantern in his hand almost going out.
"I knew I could count on you."
Gray nodded, clasping Bud's hand to seal the deal. All in all, it was a bargain with a lot of promise. After the prolonged transaction with Frau Troyer, Naomi went inside and began setting the table. She was putting out the warmed plates when her father returned through the back door. His wrinkled cheeks were rosy and his blue eyes were bright, which immediately put her on guard. "Dad, where have you been?" she asked.
"Out and about? What's for supper? I'm starved."
"Beef brisket," she replied slowly, trying to puzzle out why he seemed so happy.
"Sounds good. And I want you to know that I gave some thought to what you said earlier. I'm going to do as you ask and relax here at home. No more run and shine for me."
He started to sit at the table when he snapped his fingers.
"Ah, Doctor, and I nearly forgot. I hired Grayson Fisher to help you in the shop until after second Christmas."
"What?"
"Yep. I will not be running—"
"Nay, about Grayson Fisher."
Ah, yeah, the Bouvet.